Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel, thank you. Today is explanation of Martial Universe episode number 15 based on novel. So let's start. That black, heavy prison peak sat quietly on Lin Dong's palm. From time to time, a black glow flowed across its surface while it gave off an exceedingly solid sensation. Let's test how powerful this object is. Little Martin somewhat curiously stared at the heavy prison peak on Lin Dong's palm before it eagerly asked, yes. Lin Dong also nodded his head. Then, with a flick of his mind, a mixed color, essence yuan power, appeared before it gushed into that heavy prison peak. This soul treasure was extremely peculiar, and one could not activate it with yuan power or mental energy. Instead, one had to use essence yuan power to activate it. Thankfully, Lin Dong possessed the spirit accumulation praying mat. Else, he would not be able to do anything with this heavy prison peak. When his essence yuan power gushed into that heavy prison peak, the latter suddenly shook before it directly transformed into a black light beam. Promptly, it shook in mid-air before it suddenly expanded. Then, Lin Dong was pleasantly surprised when he saw it transform into a near 1,000 feet hill in mere seconds. Boom. That heavy prison peak swelled as it slowly grew. Then, it suddenly descended before it slammed against that large stone arena with a loud thud. This stone arena was evidently protected by a formation. Furthermore, thanks to its unique physical properties, even Lin Dong could not destroy it with a punch alone. However, right now, under the shadow of the heavy prison peak, it seemed just like an ant. When its shadow descended, the entire clan trove shook violently, just like an earthquake had occurred. Then, that large stone arena was instantly ruptured into dust. What a heavy mountain peak. When Lin Dong saw that the stone arena had been ruptured into dust and that heavy prison peak had even sunk several dozen feet into the ground, or gushed into his eyes. Though that heavy prison peak did not possess much unique abilities, it was made up of a magical material. Therefore, all of its unique properties can be summed up into one word. Heavy. This heavy prison peak was just like a heavy mystical object that could even suppress the world. In fact, even the entire earth could not withstand its terrifying weight. If you toss this object, it is enough to squash even an initial manifestation practitioner. A tinge of shock flashed across little Martin's eyes as it said. Lin Dong was all smiles as he nodded his head. This heavy prison peak pleased him immensely. In fact, the other 4 soul treasures seemed to have lost their luster. You are one lucky fellow. I believe that many people should have guessed that this heavy prison peak was no ordinary object. However, since they did not possess essence yuan power, even if they knew, they could not activate it. Little Martin said. It was as if this heavy prison peak was specially tailored for Lin Dong. In fact, Lin Dong was truly fortunate to have obtained the spirit accumulation praying mat. Therefore, he was able to create essence yuan power and successfully control it. Now that I have gotten the soul treasure, I plan to take advantage of the potent yuan power inside the clan trove to officially break through to initial manifestation stage. As he stared at the yuan power mist that permeated the clan trove, Lin Dong lifted his head as he spoke with a smile. The yuan power inside was extremely potent. If he trained in here, he would definitely be able to accelerate his training. Therefore, if he gave up on this opportunity, it would simply be too much of a waste. Yes, let me set up a defensive formation. I believe that those old guys would not dare to barge in lightly. Little Martin nodded his head. Now that Lin Langtian had broken through to advanced manifestation stage, it was time for Lin Dong to upgrade himself. Lin Dong nodded his head. Without further ado, his figure flashed before he leapt into mid-air and sat down. While his hands gently twirled, a black hole swiftly extended from behind him. When that black hole appeared, an exceedingly formidable devouring power immediately swept forth. Instantly, all the yuan power mist that permeated the clan trove quickly gathered around, before they were devoured by the black hole and flowed into Lin Dong's body continuously. Hualolo. The yuan power within the clan trove was extremely potent. Therefore, when they were being absorbed by the black hole, a crisp water-flowing sound actually faintly echoed out. As the yuan power gushed in, Lin Dong could clearly feel potent streams of yuan power quickly coursing through his body and extending across his limbs, before they finally gushed into his Dan Tian and Yuan Dan. Right now, inside his Dan Tian, streams of potent yuan power gushed in just like tidal waves. A palm-sized golden Yuan Dan slowly swirled as it completely absorbed all of these yuan power. Beside his Yuan Dan, another black small hill was slowly swirling. It was the heavy prison peak that Lin Dong had just obtained. Right now, this small hill was also releasing black glows as it attracted the potent yuan power, which then wrapped themselves around the hill. Those yuan power continuously brushed across the heavy prison peak, just like tidal waves. As it was slowly being cleansed, the color of heavy prison peak turned increasingly dark and solid. Thanks to his devouring power, Lin Dong's training was able to progress at a domineering rate. All the yuan power inside this clan trove was forcefully devoured by him alone, and not one bit was left for anyone else. Inside the clan trove, little Martin stared at the dissipating yuan power mist while awe filled his eyes. Devouring ancestral symbol was indeed extremely domineering. Without its devouring power, it would be impossible for him to absorb yuan power so quickly. As it waited on, half a month's time passed. In this half a month's time, nearly all the potent yuan power in the clan trove was completely consumed until there was hardly a trace of yuan power mist left in the clan trove. In fact, even the glow of the various treasures started to dim. Lin Dong's devouring power was too domineering. As it devoured, it not only devoured yuan power, but it even damaged the spiritual energy of those soul treasures. Thankfully, Lin Dong did not target them, else, after his training, most of the soul treasures here would turn into scrap metal. After devouring so much yuan power, it undoubtedly provided a huge boost to Lin Dong. Meanwhile, light beams formed from potent yuan power slowly squirmed around his body. At the same time, an exceedingly formidable aura faintly extended from within his body. Seated on the stone arena in front of Lin Dong, little Martin suddenly stood up. When it sensed Lin Dong's aura, it gradually nodded its head before it muttered to itself, based on his aura, "It's about time for him to wake up." As if he was replying to little Martin, after it spoke, the figure seated in mid-air suddenly shook. Then, an exceedingly formidable aura swept forth from his body, just like a hurricane, boom. The surrounding stone arena was directly blown apart by that aura. In fact, even some soul treasures were forcefully blown apart. Lin Dong's tightly shut eyes violently opened up. A golden glow flowed inside his pupils, before they finally shot out, just like they were real. Half a moment later, it finally weakened till it completely dissipated. When the golden glow in Lin Dong's eyes dissipated, that powerful aura slowly calmed down. Then, Lin Dong's figure slowly descended from mid-air. As he glanced at the suddenly emptier clan trove, he involuntarily smiled. Thanks to the potent yuan power inside, he had finally made the final step. Right now, he had successfully advanced to manifestation stage. Let's go, it's time to take revenge on that old bastard Lin Ji. Lin Dong's eyes swept across his surroundings, before he waved at little Martin. Then, without any hesitation, he turned and walked out of the clan trove. As he walked out, an icy-cold killing intent faintly emerged from his body. In the past half a month, the four of them had closely guarded this place, however, Lin Dong showed no indications of appearing. This caused the four of them to become rather frustrated, given their status. What kind of younger generation would have the qualifications to make them wait in such a bitter manner? That kid has quite a few tricks. Who knows what would happen if we carelessly enter the clan trove? If we wait outside, that brat will eventually come out. At that time, what could he possibly do? Another elder sneered and said. Over the past half a month, they had been constantly brooding over the red light that had flashed past their eyes, and it was because of that, the four of them did not dare to recklessly enter the clan trove to find out what was going on. They were afraid that Lin Dong had set up a trap inside. This was unfavorable for them, and given their understanding of Lin Dong, it was very possible for him to do such a thing. Just a younger generation member, what's there to be afraid of? Although this kid is quickly rising up, he is still unable to compare to Lin Langtian in the true clan members' hearts. He does not possess the right to become a threat to Lin Langtian. Lin Ji grimly glanced at the stone door and slowly said in the end, however, he paused before once again continuing, "Since we support Lin Langtian, we naturally have the duty to sweep away some of the obstacles for him. Since Lin Dong does not know what's good for himself, don't blame this old man for being vicious. You plan on?" The other three elders exchanged a look before they asked in low voices, "At that time, I think that even the clan head cannot possibly make things difficult for the four of us, just for a dead person." Lin Ji waved his sleeve as he icily chuckled. Looks like he had schemed quite a fair bit to kill Lin Dong, and would even dare to use such a despicable and vicious plan. Good plan. Upon hearing the plan, a sinister look flitted across the three elders' eyes. No matter how outstanding Lin Dong was, he was after all still a lowly branch family member in their eyes. Hence, it was no big deal if they killed him. I have already arranged for some elite guards to be stationed nearby. This time, I will make it such that this trash will not even be able to voice out his grievances. Lin Ji nodded his head in satisfaction. Soon after, malevolent expression fur faces on his face. Yes, we must help Lin Langtian get rid of this stumbling stone this time. The four exchanged a look before letting loose a sinister laugh. They sat down in the pavilion and quietly waited for Lin Dong to appear from the clan trove. They did not believe that Lin Dong could hide in the clan trove for his entire life. Just as they had expected, Lin Dong could not possibly hide in the clan trove for a lifetime. Thus, not long after seating themselves, the clan trove stone door, which had been tightly shut for half a month, finally rumbled as it slowly opened. The instant the clan trove stone door opened, Lin Ji and the other three's almost closed eyes abruptly opened as they quickly stood up, thick killing intent flowing in their eyes. Little piece of trash. I thought that you were really going to hide in there for your whole life. A sinister smile flashed across Lin Ji's face. His body flashed and appeared in mid-air, just outside the clan trove stone door. Behind him, the three elders immediately followed. The four of them appeared, only to see a young figure slowly walking out from the open stone door. In the end, he stopped and lifted his head to calmly gaze at the ferocious looks on Lin Ji and the rest. Lin Dong, hand over the soul treasure you obtained from the clan trove for this old man to inspect. Lin Ji fiercely stared at Lin Dong, but did not immediately make a move and instead demanded in an indifferent manner. If Lin Dong truly obtained some kind of powerful soul treasure in the clan trove, it was better to first seize it before acting, which would perhaps increase their chances. Lin Dong calmly gazed at Lin Ji, no trace of any disturbance in his voice. Was the formation in the clan trove activated by you? Did you not hear what I said? Hand over the soul treasure you obtained in the clan trove. I am an elder of the clan, you dare to disobey my words. Lin Ji's eyes turned cold as he sternly said. Upon hearing this, Lin Dong softly sighed and slowly shook his head. Within his sigh, an ice-cold killing intent slowly spread outwards. Old fogey, since you don't want the respect I give you, don't blame me for this. Little piece of crap. Did you truly believe that your small achievements in the clan gathering would allow you to be so arrogant before this old man and the rest? Four auras surged as waves of formidable yuan power rippled around their bodies. When he felt how powerful their auras were, Lin Ji's confidence soared as the slight trace of fear in his heart dissipated. He had already decided that he would properly take care of the arrogant brat before them. Who do you think you are, to dare and rely on your elder status in front of me? Lin Dong sneered, not giving the so-called elders any face. Although their lineup was rather grand, he was now officially an initial manifestation stage practitioner, and he did not fear Lin Ji at all. Boom. Lin Ji and the other three were clearly greatly angered by Lin Dong. Immediately, they roared as they simultaneously attacked. Formidable fists carrying surging yuan power ruthlessly slammed towards Lin Dong. Get lost. However, in response to their combined attack, Lin Dong did not show any signs of dodging. His feet moved in a profound manner as a scorching sun suddenly rose up from within his body. A frightening energy undulation instantly gushed out as he punched. The air in front of him exploded as a surging force heavily collided against Lin Ji and Gang's fists. Bang. A loud and clear noise suddenly resounded in the skies as a strong wind swept outwards. Lin Dong's shoulder violently jerked while stepping 2 bizarre steps, and actually negated the incoming wind. In contrast, besides Lin Ji, who was only pushed back a single step, the other three stumbled dozens of steps backwards, while the chi and blood in their bodies churned. This kid has such a terrifying strength. After the exchange, Lin Ji and Gang's expressions changed a little. Although they had personally witnessed Lin Dong's and Lin Langtian's epic battle, only after they personally fought with the latter did they clearly understand and feel exactly how frightening his power was. Lin Dong, as elders, we have authority over any matter in the clan. If you still dare to resist, don't blame us for being merciless. Lin Ji grimly shouted. Upon seeing that the old fellow was still using his elder status to oppress others, the sneer on Lin Dong's face grew even uglier. His body flashed, directly displaying the supreme purity sky wanderer steps as his body instantly became as intangible as the mist. Old bat, in my eyes, your elder status is not even worth a single cent. So stop using this status to disgrace yourself. Lin Dong's body was like the mist as a mocking laughter sounded in Lin Ji's ears, immediately causing his face to turn purple. As he watched the three elders who were unable to last even a single round against Lin Dong, Lin Ji's pupils abruptly shrunk. Only now did he realize that Lin Dong's aura was actually several times stronger compared to half a month ago. Good, little piece of trash, you actually dare to injure the clan elders. This time, even the clan head cannot save you. Although he was shocked in his heart at Lin Dong's rise in strength, Lin Ji was even more enraged. He would never have imagined that a younger generation would dare to attack a clan elder. You should think about how to save yourself first. However, Lin Dong ignored Lin Ji's roar as he slowly turned his head and looked towards Lin Ji. With a flip of his palm, a black mountain appeared within his hand. Didn't you want to know what soul treasure I have taken away from the clan trove? Lin Dong faintly smiled at Lin Ji as the small black mountain in his hand slowly rose up in the air before swiftly expanding under Lin Ji's astonished gaze. As Lin Ji stared at the swiftly expanding black mountain, a howl of disbelief suddenly echoed in the skies above. This is the heavy prison peak that no one could move. How is this possible? How could you possibly activate it? As Lin Ji gazed at the black mountain, which rose from Lin Dong's hand and expanded rapidly in the mid-air, his eyes were filled with deep fear. As one of the guardians of the clan trove, he knew everything about the various treasures in the clan trove. Even though the heavy prison peak appeared ordinary on the surface, it was still placed inside the most valuable light canopy. The only reason for this was that ever since the Lin clan obtained it, no one could actually activate it. In Lin Ji's memories, there was once a practitioner, who had reached the apex of manifestation stage, who tried to move the mysterious heavy prison peak by brute force. However, he was gravely injured by the soul treasure's resistive force in the end. From that day onwards, no one tried to obtain the heavy prison peak anymore. Even that time, when Lin Langtian entered the clan trove and tried many methods to activate it, he could not obtain it. Even though no one was able to activate it, everyone knew that the mysterious heavy prison peak must be a very powerful soul treasure. Unfortunately, this treasure seemed to require a unique method in order to be activated. Lin Dong, this soul treasure, is the heirloom treasure of the Lin clan. You have no right to take it away. Quickly hand over the treasure and impart the special technique required to activate it to me now, and maybe after doing these, I might forgive your insolent behavior towards the clan elders. Lin Ji shouted fiercely, his eyes were flickering with intense greed. Old fart, it seems you are not aware what's going on now. As I have said before, in my eyes, your status as the clan elder is worse than a dog. Lin Dong's eyes were ghastly. Towards Lin Ji, Lin Dong's mind was surged with deep hatred and killing intent. This is the first time he came across such a hateful old fogey, you. Lin Ji's face was pale with anger after hearing Lin Dong's ruthless words. However, when he saw Lin Dong's glance, his heart suddenly trembled with fear. That was a genuine killer intent. Lin Dong actually wanted to kill him for real, boom. At this moment, while Lin Ji was still terrified of Lin Dong's killer intent, the latter did not give the former any time to talk. With a swipe of his gown, the heavy prison peak, which had been expanded to more than 10 feet tall, became a beam of black light, and headed directly over to crush Lin Ji. Bang bang bang. When the heavy prison peak flew across the horizon, the air below it exploded. It was as if the sky was being ripped apart, forming a tear where the heavy prison peak had flown through. An astonishing air wave began to diffuse rapidly. A heavy aura, as if it could suppress all living things, engulfed Lin Ji thoroughly. As the special type of heavy aura engulfed him, Lin Ji quickly discovered that the air around him had become something like quicksand, rendering him unmovable. Furthermore, the heavy aura that was crushing him had caused all the bones in his body to produce clicking sounds. That kind of power appeared to be crushing him into flesh pulp, blood phoenix scale. Even though Lin Ji had used his earthly soul treasure, the heavy prison peak did not seem to stop. Instead, its falling speed became increasingly fast and violent. Finally, it landed ferociously on that huge piece of blood scale. Immediately, a clear and crisp metallic sound resounded through the air. At this moment, the blood-colored scale let out a mournful screech, and its bloody glow collapsed and became dimmer. It then fell powerlessly onto the ground. Upon the first collision, this earthly soul treasure had been unexpectedly crushed by the heavy prison peak, vomit. When his blood scale broke, a pale white look flushed upon Lin Ji's face. After that, he spat out a mouthful of blood, and as if his body was being heavily hit, he flew and crashed into a particular pavilion ferociously. The tremendous power caused the entire pavilion to cave in. In the mid-air, a delighted look swept across Lin Dong's eyes as he witnessed the prowess of the heavy prison peak. Apparently, he did not expect the heavy prison peak to be so dominating. Even against an advanced manifestation stage practitioner with an earthly soul treasure like Lin Ji, was defeated so quickly. Even though this area was in the inner sanctum of the Lin clan, the repeating and roaring sounds of activity had aroused the attention of numerous clan members. At the moment when the deafening sound broke through the sky, numerous clan members rushed over. However, when they saw the three elders groaning on the ground, their facial expressions changed drastically. Bang. Just as the clan members' facial expressions began to change, a wretched figure flew out of the collapsed pavilion. As the onlookers saw what had happened, they cried out in alarm immediately. Is that Elder Lin Ji? What happened? It's Lin Dong. These elders seem to be fighting with Lin Dong. What? Lin Dong dares to attack the elders. After all, Elder Lin Ji is an advanced manifestation stage practitioner, idiot. There is nothing that Lin Dong don't dare to do. Can't you see the situation now? Not only does Elder Lin Ji look wretched, but even the other three elders are gasping for air. Apparently, they have just fought with Lin Dong and were all defeated. How could it be? Capture him for me. Lin Ji cried out coldly, with a sense of ghastliness flickered in his eyes. Even if these guards could not arrest Lin Dong, as long as the latter dared to kill them, he would have to sever his relationship with Lin clan after today. As they heard Lin Ji's commands, these guards immediately flew out violently. They then combined their auras and formed a formation, encircling and moving in towards Lin Dong. Upon seeing these guards rush over, Lin Dong furrowed his brow slightly and took a glance at Lin Ji. Then, he smirked to himself. He was not a fool who would do anything rashly and naturally, and he knew what those old fogies were up to. Immediately, with a flick of his mind, formidable mental energy instantly swept forth as quick as lightning. Then, he gripped his palm, before the guards' auras were all directly broken. Soon after, crystal bubbles formed from mental energy emerged and surrounded them, before it flung them onto the ground. As the clan guards, you should know right from wrong. Lin Ji and the 3 others tried to manipulate the formation, in order to assassinate me, when I entered the clan trove. Therefore, when the clan leader arrives, I will personally explain to him. If you guys still insist on attacking me, I will spare no mercy. Lin Dong's ice-cold voice emerged from mid-air, before it clearly echoed out in every guard's ears. When they heard his voice, the guards' facial expressions gently changed. As they stared at the crystal mental energy bubbles that surrounded their bodies, all of them knew that Lin Dong could instantly kill them with a single thought. Lin Dong, you dare to defy the clan's enforcement guards. When Lin Ji saw this sight, he shouted out venomously, noisy old fart. Lin Dong's eyes turned cold. Then, his figure flashed before he transformed into a green puff and dashed forth. When Lin Mu saw this situation, he released a pained laugh. He was aware of Lin Dong's vicious and vengeful character. Thankfully, Lin Dong still held back, and he did not actually kill Lin Ji, Lin Mu sighed. Just as he was about to speak, in another section of the clan, an exceedingly powerful aura suddenly shot into the sky. Then, it began to head toward this direction, at an exceedingly formidable pace. When he sensed that familiar aura, the pained smile on Lin Mu's face intensified. That must be Lin Langtian, which had just finished his training. Based on his character, he would definitely not sit by and allow his allies Lin Ji to be beaten till such a sorry extent. More trouble ahead. That powerful aura was extremely formidable, and everyone felt it the instant it appeared. Immediately, it caused the clan members' expressions to turn interesting, before they all quickly retreated several steps. They were extremely familiar with the owner of this aura, and all of them knew that there was probably going to be a fearsome conflict between the two of them. It is reputed that Big Brother Lin Langtian shut himself away, and successfully reached advanced manifestation stage. Therefore, his battle abilities must have surged several times. Since he has came out now, he would definitely cause trouble for Lin Dong. Of course. Elder Lin Ji has always supported Lin Langtian. Now that he has been badly beaten by Lin Dong, Lin Langtian would definitely not forgive this matter. It seems like there is going to be a huge battle between the two of them today. I believe that compared to half a month ago, Lin Dong's aura has also grown. Besides, did you see the soul treasure that he chose? Based on my knowledge, it is the most mysterious treasure in our clan trove, Heavy Prison Peak. In the past, many powerful practitioners in our clan tried to subdue it, however, all of them eventually failed. In fact, even Lin Langtian failed to do so. Therefore, I never expected it to end up with Lin Dong. The two of them are truly the top geniuses in our Lin clan. However, there can only be one tiger in one mountain. As they sensed that formidable aura heading their way, countless whispers immediately sounded out in the arena, while their expressions were in flux. Lin Dong stood straight in mid-air, while he stared calmly at the direction where that aura was coming from. From that aura, he could sense that Lin Langtian had officially reached advanced manifestation stage. However, his own strength has surged as well, hence, he did not fear the latter. Furthermore, now that he possessed a powerful soul treasure, Heavy Prison Peak, he was curious to find out if his Heavy Prison Peak, or Lin Langtian's, spiritual mirror, is stronger. Under Lin Dong's attention, a blurry figure dashed over as quick as lightning. In a mere blink of an eye, he had appeared in this domain. The person that arrived was indeed Lin Langtian. When Lin Langtian appeared, he immediately turned to look at a sorry Lin Ji and the 3 other elders. Instantly, rage and anger expectedly gushed into his eyes. Then, he slowly lifted his head, before he stared at Lin Dong. His voice was filled with a potent killing intent as he said, "Did you do this? Lin Langtian, if you want to kill me, do it yourself. Why ask others to secretly manipulate the formations in the clan trove to assassinate me?" As he stared at an angry and grim Lin Langtian, Lin Dong chuckled. "Wise-ass brat. After I capture you, let's see what you will say." Lin Langtian's eyelids twitched gently. He was evidently extremely outraged by Lin Dong's sharp words. Immediately, he turned impatient, before his palm violently stretched out. Then, a large yuan power palm materialized, before it viciously swiped at Lin Dong. "Capture me. What gives you the qualifications?" Lin Dong chuckled as he directly punched out. Then, a terrifying energy shock wind forcefully blew apart that large Yuan power palm, initial manifestation stage. When Lin Dong made his move, Lin Langtian's expression darkened. At first, he thought that since he had reached advanced manifestation stage, he could easily thrash Lin Dong. However, he never expected that Lin Dong had improved tremendously in this half a month's time. Nonetheless, that was not going to deter Lin Langtian. Immediately, he opened his mouth before a rainbow flash dashed out and transformed into a black hexagon mirror. It was Lin Langtian's earthly soul treasure, spiritual mirror. When his spiritual mirror appeared, Lin Langtian poured his potent Yuan power into it. Immediately, the mirror began to shimmer. The black glow shimmering on it caused one's heart to turn cold. Spiritual mirror, corrosive divine beam. That black glow shimmered manically on the surface of the spiritual mirror before it exploded forth with a bang. Then, it flashed across the horizon, just like a black beam, before it flew viciously towards Lin Dong. This corrosive divine beam was filled with potent corrosive abilities, and its corrosive powers were extremely harmful for one's mental energy. It seems like Lin Langtian was aware that Lin Dong's mental energy was quite powerful, and he wanted to use this in order to counter Lin Dong, snort. Of course, with regards to his tricks, Lin Dong coldly snorted. Previously, when he did not have an earthly soul treasure, he might have been wary of Lin Langtian's earthly soul treasure. However, now that he had the heavy prison peak, the latter's earthly soul treasure was no longer as effective as before. Lin Dong waved his sleeves, while a black glow actually undulated on his heavy prison peak. Finally, that mountain peak shook, before a black beam also shot out from it. However, Lin Dong's black beam did not possess any corrosive ability. Rather, it possessed a heavy aura that could suppress the world, boom. Two black beams collided in mid-air, before a maniacal energy shock wave swept forth instantly, you shall break. Lin Dong's expression was ice-cold as he suddenly shouted out viciously. Then, that potent heavy aura actually forcefully destroyed Lin Langtian's corrosive divine beam, before it flew towards the latter with an alarming speed. When he saw that his corrosive divine beam was unable to suppress Lin Dong's black beam, Lin Langtian's expression darkened. Immediately, he bent his palm into the shape of a claw, before he swiped his palm. Then, a formidable Yuan power erupted forth, before it forcefully tore apart that incoming black beam, boom. When he ripped that black beam apart, Lin Langtian's shoulder suddenly shook. Upon contact, he felt an extremely heavy aura within that black beam. Even though he had only touched a tiny bit of that aura, the Yuan power circulation in his body seemed to have been obstructed. Heavy prison peak. Lin Langtian's expression was grim as he lifted his head and stared at that black mountain peak hovering above Lin Dong's head. Then, his expression was somewhat ugly as he said, "You can actually activate the heavy prison peak." As a fellow clan member, who had entered the clan trove, Lin Langtian was naturally aware of this mysterious earthly soul treasure. Though he knew that object was extraordinary, regardless of what means he used and even after the aura in his body tried, they were unable to subdue this heavy prison peak. Therefore, he had no choice but to choose the spiritual mirror. However, right now, when he saw that Lin Dong could actually subdue the heavy prison peak, which had completely thwarted him and even the aura inside him, jealousy and shock instantly filled his heart. Lin Langtian, even after reaching advanced manifestation stage, your abilities are merely so. With regards to the changing emotions in the clan disciples' hearts, Lin Dong chose to ignore it. His eyes stared right at Lin Langtian before he chuckled. His words did not have a single shred of respect for this Lin clan's genius. After all, he thoroughly hated his fellow. If it were not for the fact that he did not want to reveal his hidden killing move, Blood Soul Puppet, he would have killed the latter immediately and thoroughly eliminate him. Though the heavy prison peak is powerful, it depends on the user. Based on your capabilities, you do not have the qualifications to possess that soul treasure. Hand it over. Lin Langtian coldly said. Come and take it if you can. Do you really believe that I am helpless against you? Lin Langtian was enraged as Lin Dong pushed the killing intent in his heart till the limit. Just as he was about to reveal some hidden tricks to slaughter Lin Dong, a loud roar faintly filled with anger suddenly ricocheted across the horizon just like thunder. Both of you stop. When they heard that voice, several people's faces gently changed, before a respectful look gushed into his eyes. Immediately, a figure lighting quick dashed from a distance away, greeting clan leader. When they saw the arrival of that man, all of the surrounding clan disciples immediately greeted him respectfully. Standing aside, Elder Lin Mu also gently heaved a sigh of relief. Right now, in the clan, the only one who can stop these two ferocious tigers, Lin Dong and Lin Langtian, was the Nirvana stage practitioner Lin Fan. When Lin Fan appeared and glanced at his tattered surroundings, a tinge of rage flared across his eyes. Promptly, he turned around and stared at Lin Dong. Just as he was about to speak, his attention was immediately drawn to that palm-sized black hill that had been recalled by Lin Dong. Immediately, his body shook before he sounded out in alarm, you actually managed to subdue the heavy prison peak. I got lucky. Lin Dong gently nodded his head. He knew how shocking this fact was for Lin Fan and the rest. After all, they have all tried and failed to subdue the heavy prison break. Therefore, when they saw this soul treasure, which had completely thwarted them, land in the hands of Lin Dong, their hearts naturally felt queasy. Lin Fan stared somewhat peculiarly at Lin Dong, while he secretly felt increasingly confused about this teenager in front of him. However, he did not linger on this matter. Immediately, his tone changed, before he asked solemnly, "What is going on?" The matter he was referring to was naturally the wreckage in this area. Right now, his clan was in complete chaos and he was naturally outraged. Clan leader, that Lin Dong is simply too overbearing. The four of us were guarding this spot, when we realized that there was something odd going on in the clan trove. After probing around, we realized that the yuan power inside the clan trove had completely disappeared, while the soul treasures inside were also damaged. At first, we wanted to inform Lin Dong about it, however, we never expected him to be so cruel and actually attack the four of us. When he saw Lin Fan appear, Lin Ji, who had his teeth knocked out by Lin Dong, instantly jumped, before he quickly seized the initiative to complain viciously. When he heard his words, Lin Fan gently furrowed his brows. Since he could become the Lin clan's leader, he was naturally no fool. Therefore, he would not believe Lin Ji's words alone. Immediately, he turned to look at Lin Dong and asked, "Is that true?" Lin Dong gradually shook his head, before he glanced condescendingly at Lin Ji and said, "For a person like you to become an elder, what a disgrace the Lin clan." When he heard his words, Lin Ji was so outraged till his face turned purple. After he previously suffered at the hands of Lin Dong, he clearly knew that he was no match for him. "Clan leader, when I entered into the clan trove, I was secretly ambushed. Someone was secretly manipulating the formations within and plotted to kill me while I was inside. Thankfully, I discovered it quickly and was unable to avoid their trap. However, when I was dodging their attacks, I accidentally damaged some soul treasures as well. That was what resulted in the damage. Besides Elder Lin Ji and the three of them, I am afraid there is no one else who can control the formations within the clan trove. I believe that there should be some equipment nearby that is capable of controlling the formations inside the clan trove. Sect leader, feel free to send some men to search the area, and we will get to the bottom of this matter," Lin Dong casually said. When he heard his words, Lin Ji's expression was in flux. Lin Fan furrowed his brows before he nodded his head at Lin Mu. Then, the latter's figure flashed before it swiftly dashed into a tower. Moments later, he returned, "Sect leader, the equipment controlling the formations within the clan trove was indeed destroyed. Furthermore, there is evidence that someone had used it previously," Lin Mu softly said. "Lin Ji, how dare you?" Lin Fan's expression changed, as he stared at Lin Ji and hollered. When he saw that the truth had been revealed, Lin Ji's pale face turned even paler. Just as he wanted to defend himself, when he saw Lin Fan's fearsome expression, his body shivered, before he quickly turned to look at Lin Langtian, clan leader. Elder Lin Ji and the rest were indeed in the wrong. However, that Lin Dong is simply too arrogant. In the four great clans, have there ever been a case where a disciple actually dared to attack an elder? If news of this matter got out, it would be devastating for us. Lin Langtian solemnly echoed out. When the surrounding clansmen heard Lin Fan's words, their bodies gently trembled. They understood the intention behind Lin Fan's words. Whoever could gain the right to participate in the 100 Empire War would become the true heir of the Lin clan. At that time, he would possess a status that far exceeds the other. In a manner of speaking, for the upcoming Battle of Seeds, if Lin Langtian could successfully earn a spot in the 100 Empire War, Lin Dong would never have a chance to rise again. At that time, based on Lin Langtian's status, even if he wanted to kill Lin Dong, Lin Fan would not interfere. In fact, he may even personally help Lin Langtian to deal with Lin Dong. That is because at that time, Lin Langtian's worth would far exceed Lin Dong's. Of course, if the situation was reversed, then Lin Langtian would be completely crushed by Lin Dong. In fact, his prestigious status within the clan would be immediately taken over by Lin Dong. This was going to be a fairly vicious contest. Whoever loses will have to pay a terrible price. If we say that the family meeting allowed Lin Dong to possess the same status as Lin Langtian, then this Battle of Seeds could potentially allow him to surpass Lin Langtian and become the number one figure in the entire clan. Of course, it could also squash him once again, and all of his previous glory and achievements would instantly disappear. Lin Dong fiddled with the heavy prison peak in his hand, while his expression remained fairly calm. Though Lin Fan's words were cruel, it once again reinforced the importance of power. As he continued to face increasingly powerful fighters, he must continuously upgrade himself as well. Else, all of his hard work could be potentially wiped off in an instant. Even though he did not care about the so-called Lin clan, his family members still belonged to it. Therefore, for their sake, he must become the number one figure in the entire Lin clan, sure. Lin Langtian's eyes glimmered, while an icy-cold glint flowed in the deepest corner of his eyes. As he stared at a calm-looking Lin Dong, a venomous smile slowly emerged on his face. That was fine as well. As long as he could succeed in the Battle of Seeds, at that time, he would make Lin Dong understand that a salty fish would always be won. Even if it could flip around, it would eventually return. All right, go off now. In 3 days' time, both of you will follow me and head into the Imperial City. When he saw this situation, Lin Fan nodded his head. Then, he could not be bothered to speak anymore as his figure flashed, and he immediately left this area. This video will end here. Thank you for watching.